the type of acting?
No, it's not the acting. I think that if there was anything there, it was just the thinness and the paucity of the thought
Right.
in a scene. You know, when you're used to these sort of incredibly profound thoughts that you sometimes you have to engage in Shakespeare. I mean, the simplest version of that is to be or not to be. That is the question. And you know, when you're having to think that, unfortunately, I've never played Hamlet. I would love to have played Hamlet. Just that concept is so profound, you know. And then you're in a movie and you say, you know, where's the milk?
Yeah.
or you know, remember to shut the door, or you know, or I kill people, dear.
Right.
But so it's. But the acting in film is very intense and very powerful, because it's like this unbelievable concentration. It concentrates down. And, you know, you've got this huge set and all these hundreds of people, and everyone's arrived the light guys arrived at 4 a.m, and the honey wagon people drove the honey wagon in, and the catering got set up, and the makeup truck is there, and then you're in makeup at 6 a.m, and now all of that stuff. And now is action. And now it's your job to do everything, the thing that all of this is about.
Yeah.
All of those people's work, everything, the time, the effort is all down to action.
Yeah. That's your job.
And that's my job.
And you don't know how that's going to be cut.
And I don't know how it's going to be cut. I don't know how it's going to come out even.
I know.
Because you don't practice, you can't rehearse it. So it's I find film acting incredibly intense and wonderful and demanding and inspiring, and I watch Americans do it. And the first time I worked with Americans, I was blown away by them, because their ability to be natural within this unspeakably unnatural. It's more natural to be on a stage, honestly, with another person opposite you in costume, and you're, you know, than it is on any film set. It's almost impossible to be natural. And so the people who are natural and within their naturalness are inventive.
Who was the first person that you noticed that with, that you worked with, when you were like, oh my God?
Well, I have to say Pacino was the greatest master of that, the master of the technique completely.
Did you work with him?
I did. I did a TV thing about Phil Spector.
Oh yeah, that was later, right?
I played his lawyer, and he played Phil. Yeah. But to work with Al is an amazing experience. But one of the actors that I worked with on the first American film I did, which was 2010, was Bob Balaban. I don't know if you've ever spoken or you know Bob Balaban, a great actor and a great guy.
I've talked to him, yeah.
And he gave me this brilliant piece of film acting note, and I've passed this on to other young actors. And at the time, a book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance was very fashionable. And he said, acting is like Zen. He said, you aim your arrow where you think it's going to land, you know, in the take. Aim your arrow and let it go. And let it go, let it land wherever it lands, because you can't control where it lands. You can't control what the audience are going to get from that moment. That is, you don't even know whether it'll be in the movie or not. So aim your arrow, give it all you can, and then let it go.
Yeah. Don't
go home and think, oh my God, I should have done it like this. I should have done it like that. Why didn't I do that? Which one tends to do in film. So it was a great piece of
that is
advice.
Great. That's something. Yeah, I mean, you worked with him on where'd you work with Bob?
He actually, this was 2010. He was in 2010.
Oh, the
And
movie
then,
2010, right?
yeah, the movie 2010. And then, yes, he was a producer on Gosford Park as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's a great
Lovely,
guy.
smart, wonderful guy.
It is interesting though that you're saying that it's more natural to be on stage because of the context. It's like I'm going to talk to that guy. We know exactly what we're going to say, and this is how it goes.
And this is how it goes. And you've got chairs to sit on, and
Yeah.
and you're in your sure. There's an audience out there, and you are sort of incorporating them. But with on film, you don't. People often say, "What's it like to work with Bruce Willis?" Well, I know what it's like to be with Bruce Willis, and it's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
Incidentally, to be with Bruce Willis. He's so kind and lovely. But to act with him, you're not acting. You're acting with the camera. You're looking at a thing on the side of the camera. You're not looking at a person in general.
Right. And also, yeah, that's it. You're servicing an illusion in film and television, whereas in theater, you're not. Theater,
No.
Everyone understands the terms. This is the play, this is the theater.
Yes.
They're going to do the thing, and if they do it well, we're going to be elevated and taken out. With film,
and you live in the world. You're living in the world. I mean, you step onto that set.
Yeah,
you're in the world.
Yeah,
absolutely. But on a film set, it's hard to. I can understand the actors who just want to stay. They have to stay in that world,
right?
Even though they're in their trailer or their, craft services. They're in that world. Don't talk to me. I can only answer as Lincoln. I can understand that because film is the film world.
It's easy. It's easy to
so distract.
Right. So, have you worked with those kind of guys? Was Pacino like that?
No, he wasn't like that. No,
he's also one of those guys. Like he's one of those method guys, those second generation method guys that can really, when he wants to, he can really still do it.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of them. Like De Niro's still great too, but Pacino can really get lost in something.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I thought he was brilliant in. Yeah, I thought he was brilliant in the recent Scorsese film.
Oh yeah, Jimmy
Union
Hoffa.
Leader. I thought he was fantastic.
You know what he's great in is that Kevorkian movie on HBO.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'd love to see that.
He's great in that. I mean, that was to me.
He's one of the great thing about Pacino was when he was off camera, and he would always do everything off camera for you. But he wouldn't just
that's nice.
Say the lines. Oh, he wouldn't be reading the lines,
He'd act them.
or just full out acting. He'd give a more of a performance sometimes off screen than he would on screen because he'd be inspired by something. He just he can't stop himself. He just
loves to act.
He can't. He loves it. He loves it. He loves the imaginative process.
But it's very generous for somebody to do the
incredibly.
So in the beginning though, did you find that you were taken, like where do you see the evolution from, because at the beginning you had smaller parts, there were some sort of slightly sexualized parts where you expected to fill a role that had nothing to do with necessarily the character or who you were. And so you kind of evolved out of that somehow. I think it was probably Long Good Friday was probably the first big,
Well, no, I would say the first big in a way. I mean, I'd done lots of big TV roles. And at that time, I was said, and it was true, British film is alive and well and living on television.
Uh-huh.
And that was very much the case.
Okay.
Sort of through the 70s.
Uh-huh.
But I did luck out majorly and get the role in Prime Suspect, which was a big...
Well, that was later. That was TV. After...
That was later.
Yeah.
That was in the 80s, yes. But that allowed me to segue very nicely through that can be a difficult time for women, the late 30s, early 40s era period when you're not the, cute young Barney anymore.
Right.
And you never will be again. And, but you, all the time you've been looking for something more than that anyway. And Prime Suspect was was a wonderful way for me to go into a different generation, a different kind of work.
Well, I mean, you did it for like a decade, didn't you? Like, how long was that on?
Well, I did. It wasn't that it was on. I was very lucky because it wasn't like a TV series.
Yeah.
It was something that we did every 18 months. I would do another Prime Suspect. So in between, I would do theatre, I would do movies, I would do lots of other things. It was never like a series, like an ongoing rolling series. It was never that. It was just every 18 months, I would do another Prime Suspect.
And you were, you dug into that character. People knew the character. People were fans.
And followed along with her. She had her development, over the years. Yeah.
And now when you do, you do a lot of different kinds of stuff. And, you kind of show up in things, and everyone knows you, so you can just do something like Documentary Now, and people are...
I love that. Yeah. Is it brilliant?
Yeah. It's great.
Is it brilliant? Don't you love it, Marc?
I do.
I love it. It's very, very fun.
Those guys are hilarious. Yeah. But, do you see any difference in doing, like, The Queen and Fast and Furious movie?
Yeah, of course it's different. It's completely different.
But do you?
I begged to be in Fast and Furious.
You did?
I begged. Oh yes. I begged.
Why? Why did you beg to be in that movie?
I don't know, because it was so different from The Queen, I think. And, but I did get to. I love driving cars. Of course, then they never had me driving a car.
Oh, they let you drive one on set, though, didn't they?
Eventually, yes.
Oh, good.
Yes,
right.
Eventually.
So that was a fun thing you did.
It was a fun thing, yes. Although in all these fun things, there's always an element that's not so fun.
Yeah.
Because in the end, filmmaking is quite a serious business. It's
sure
financially serious, and it's a weighty thing. A movie.
There's expectations.
Yeah, but Vin has become a great friend.
Oh yeah, you and Vin, you hang out.
Me and Vin, I love Vin. Yes. Yeah, we don't really hang out. We hang out on messages and things like that.
He seems like a good guy.
He's a good guy,
and he looks great on camera. That's the weird thing. There's some gift that certain actors have where you just like
absolutely. They have a power on camera.
It's wild.
There's an internal power that is undeniable,
and it's unexplainable too. You can't manufacture
unexplainable, and it's sort of not about acting. It's about something quite different.
You just fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So playing Catherine, this 4. What is it? Was it 6 or 4 episodes?
4 2-hour episodes.
So is there anything exciting about the Russian element, given that it's your history?
Well, she actually wasn't Russian,
right?
Was Catherine. She was Prussian,
right?
Sort of German Russian.
But she ran the store for a while.
But she ran the store for a long while. An amazing character that I had always been sort of fascinated by. Just anyone who is prepared. I guess when people, and especially women, and especially women of that era, who just know that they have the capability to do this thing.
Yeah.
So much of being a woman is actually about insecurity, questioning yourself, not feeling you're capable, because for maybe 1,000 odd years, we've been told that we are incapable and we can't do it. And, of course, Marc, in the world of comedy,
sure.
When I grew up, women were not funny. Oh, no, women can't be funny. We love women. They're lovely. They can do so many other things. They're wonderful. And in the end, they're stronger than men and they last longer than men, but they can't be funny. They're just not funny. It's just the way the world is, and that was a completely accepted reality.
Well, yeah, they were, but even the way you said it, they're like the sort of framing of women in a broad sense is like, well, they're so great, they're so much stronger than we are, but they can't do anything other than
can't do anything.
what we've let them do. Yeah,
exactly. And you have witnessed the change in attitude there.
Yeah, for sure.
And oh my God, women can be funny. In fact, they're really funny. They're brilliant.
Oh yeah, some of the best comedians right now are women, for sure.
Oh, fantastic!
Maria Bamford is a genius.
Oh, I don't know Maria Bamford. I must look her up.
Yes, she's
great.
I'm always singing her praises. But yeah,
great.
And it's getting. I think it is getting a little better.